Okay, I want to know what you think. What is going on with JD Vance openly criticizing Israel?
What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you have seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
So JD Vance spitting facts. Did not expect that, but you know, he's not wrong when he said that Israel's only ally is the United States. That's not wrong. The entire rest of the world is pissed off at Bibi Netanyahu and Israel because they're committing a genocide in Gaza and they're committing a genocide in Lebanon. They're destabilizing the Middle East because this is Bibi Netanyahu's vision, right? This is his tyrannical vision, just like Donald Trump wanted to invade Canada and Greenland and Mexico, right? This is what tyrants do. This is what malignant narcissists do. This is why Hitler had his Lebensraum, right? This is the same thing. Malignant narcissists follow predictable patterns. Putin attacking Crimea, Putin attacking Ukraine, same thing, right? This is all the same thing. But then for JD Vance to basically threaten Bibi and Israel and be like, hey guys, 2/3 of the funding for your wars comes from the American taxpayer. First of all, American taxpayers, please listen. I want to talk about this in my next video, which I will post on my other account. But like 2/3 of the funding for the terrible things that they're doing, the war crimes that they're committing, comes from the American taxpayer. When Republicans have slashed Medicaid, SNAP, they are gutting all kinds of programs that benefit us that our tax dollars should be going toward. Instead, our tax dollars are going toward Bibi's war in Lebanon. We could cut off that funding. Congress could cut off that funding. But really for this video, I want to talk about like why is JD Vance doing this? Why is he coming out with this aggressive stance against Israel? Basically being like, you do what we want or else. Now this video was filmed, that statement, that press conference was before the news that we got today that Iran has once again closed the Strait of Hormuz because Israel is violating the ceasefire by continuing to bomb Lebanon, which Bibi said yesterday he would continue to do. He was like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And to be fair, Bibi has been saying this for quite a while now. He'll continue to do these war crimes. He'll continue to wage these wars of aggression, commit these atrocities, whether or not the United States is helping him.
I say to the leaders of the world, no amount of pressure, no decision by any international forum will stop Israel from defending itself. As the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, I pledge here today from Jerusalem on this Holocaust Remembrance Day, if Israel is forced to stand alone, Israel will stand alone.
Yeah, but the thing is they can't actually continue to do all of the things that they're doing without American taxpayer dollars. If we turn off that spigot, they can't continue to do endless war in the Middle East. And JD Vance was pretty clear about that. And I want to know what you think. Why is he doing this? Now, I asked on Blue Sky last night, I asked people what they thought, because I'm going back and forth on it. What's this all about? My immediate thought when I saw this clip was, oh, remember that New York Times Maggie Haberman piece that just came out that was like a teaser for her book? She had all of this crucial information about Donald Trump and the Epstein files and conversations that happened in the war room, but she kept it back until she was ready to release her book, as these kind of corporate journalists do. Bob Woodward, anybody, right? All of these journalists, they could release this information much earlier and perhaps change the course of the future, perhaps help us get justice. But instead, They want their book deal. They want to be #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. So they hold it all back. They hold it all back. Anyway, I digress. Here's my post on Blue Sky from last night. Why do you think JD Vance is willing to be so openly critical of Israel right now, saying things that would have gotten college kids arrested in 2023 through 2025? Oh, speaking of...
But yeah, you've seen people in their system, Ben Gvir and Smotrich, who've attacked the deal.
War criminals.
And I guess my response to them would be, what is your exact proposal? And, you're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem that you have.
Joe Biden literally would have had kids arrested in 2023 on college campuses for saying things like that. Columbia University would have kicked you out if you said shit like that in public in 2023. But JD Vance is saying it now. And again, strangely, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Oh, hate it when the worst person that you know says something correct that you have to agree with. Now, of course, JD is like, well, what else could we have done? We knew that the United States had to capitulate because Donald Trump slipped in a news conference and said we only have 4 weeks left of oil reserves. So they had to get the strait reopened. Donald Trump had to come in with the white flag and admit, like, we're surrendering, we're giving you whatever you want plus $300 billion because the United States is about to run out of oil. But Israel don't give two fucks about the U.S. economy. They want the war to go on and on and on until what is it? What is it that Ben Gvir said? Until all of Lebanon is burning. Until all of Lebanon is burned, then they want to keep going. Right, so my question was, what's all of this expenditure of political capital going to gain JD Vance? And I cannot help but connect it to the Maggie Haberman story. Because in that story, sorry, I got on a tangent and forgot to loop back around to that. Oh, you guys, it's been a day. Maggie Haberman's story was very much positioning JD Vance as like, I want to release the Epstein files. I want to do the thing that Trump doesn't want to do. I am a guy who wants to do what the American people want. And now the American people don't want to fund Israel. The American people want to stop funding Israel's genocide in Gaza and also in Lebanon. We don't want our taxpayer dollars to go for that. No matter what party you're from, right? Like, Americans are overwhelmingly opposed to the war in Iran. Americans overwhelmingly want AIPAC out of our government. So JD Vance is giving the people what they want, right? This is self-serving political maneuvering on his part, I think. Just like with the Epstein files in Maggie Haberman's reporting, what we're seeing here is JD Vance being like, I want to be president in 2020. Peter Thiel wants me to be president in 2028. I still think that the technocrat bros could have their feudal overlord future. I still could win, even though he's incredibly uncharismatic and completely ill-equipped and like nobody likes him. He thinks he's saying the right things. That's my take. And Israel doesn't have dirt on him the same way they do on Donald Trump, right? Although Trump has been much more openly critical of Bibi. We know that, several days ago, Donald Trump got on the phone with Bibi and chewed him out. And then the next day, we get more Epstein files information dropping. I realize I'm doing this a lot lately in my videos. I like it. I'm into it right now. Someone in my comments said, I think that Trump already told us they are worried about the oil reserves they want out and Israel isn't going to stop. I agree. Someone else in my comments said, being openly critical of Israel means you can get some centrist votes and keep the anti-Semite right. The religious right will always vote GOP, even if their candidate openly criticizes Israel. It is ultimately more important for them to preserve the bigotry at home than to care about a foreign land. Well, I think that's true. I think also a huge chunk of the far right in this country is deeply anti-Semitic and resents our money going toward Israel. It's just the Zionist evangelicals who only want to fund Israel because they want the temple to be rebuilt so that it brings about the end times. Those are the American Christians on the far right who are wanting to fund Israel. Other folks on the far right don't want it. And I guess I also wonder, someone else said this in the comments, if that doesn't set JD Vance up to try and split the right and try and draw people, right? It's like going to be him versus Marco Rubio, or that's what Israel thinks, right? Israel wants Marco Rubio. So does he think he's going to pull off enough people and create this narrative against Israel? Are we going to see the United States withdraw support from Israel to save our economy? And is JD Vance doing that because he thinks it will benefit his political future? And are we gonna fall for it, right? Are we gonna fall for this rhetoric from JD Vance, who is not tied to he has no scruples and he has no ethics, he has no principles that he's tied to. It's all political maneuvering. He goes wherever Peter Thiel tells him to. Yeah, I'd love to know what you think about this. What's motivating this? Am I off base here or am I onto something?